His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. I gotta bring it to my mouth. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. Look how sad this hungry child is. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew in the tree. A forest grew in Max's room. A forest grew in Max's room. And grew. It's barely a bedroom anymore. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees. So many trees. And it grew. He looks quite happy about it. The forest grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines, and the walls became the world all around. The art in this book is amazing. The walls became the world all around, and an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed all through night and day. An ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. So that boat was his boat. He's got his own boat. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. The wild things are. It took him almost a year to get to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Terrible. That doesn't look so terrible. When he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. So Max said, be still, and tame them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once, and they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. He was the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all the wild things. As you can see his crown. He's king of the wild things. Dance together, burn light together, 'cause he's the king of the wild things. Dance together, burn light together. I can't get over the art in this book. I wonder if these are paintings. Enjoying his new life as king of the wild things. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world he smelled good things to eat, so he gave up being king of where the wild things are. He gave up being king because he smelled good food, and wanted to go there. But the wild things cried, oh, please don't go, we'll eat you up. We love you so. And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye, and waved goodbye, and sailed sure I must have read this when I was a child, but I have not read this in a very, very long